Hey guys, it's Kirstan. I wanted to make an even more in-depth highlight and contour video for you all. So let's get to beating this face, shall we? So I'm starting off with using Makeup Forever's Full Cover Concealer in number 5 and a random concealer brush that I purchased when I first started my makeup journey. And I sprayed that with the Smashbox water primer because this concealer likes to set pretty quickly. And I'm going in with my damp beauty blender that I use to apply my foundation with just to buff it out. I find that this gives it the easiest transition into my foundation. It really does take me this long to blend out my concealer. I had to cut it down because it was getting a little too crazy. You can see me here spraying the brush with some of that primer water, and the shape I want to create is an upside down triangle so I can create my own light. So down the side of the nose, underneath my eye until I hit my ocular bone, and connecting those 2 points so that when we blend it out, it doesn't go too far down. I want that line to be nice and steep. Now making a tribal fan look right across my forehead to bring that outward, and then you'll see me taking it down the center of the nose pretty quickly, and I want to blend it out as fast as I can because again this concealer likes to set pretty fast. Taking that same highlight color right on the shelf of the chin, not on the entire chin because I feel like that makes the chin look a little bit too large, and then also on my cupid's bow. And then of course blending that out. And also taking that concealer around the edges of my nose because those tend to get really red and the foundation doesn't want to cover that for some reason. I am blending out any creases that could possibly be sitting right underneath my eyes because I want to bake that with the Mercier translucent loose setting powder. I find that the baking method really helps to erase any sort of texture on my highlighted areas, and I like that smoothness going right underneath my eyes especially. So we're gonna keep our baking mask on and move right into contour and oh wait, there's a little dance. Here we go. Oh yeah. So taking Shadow Play from the Shade and Light Contour Palette by Kat Von D, I'm depositing most of that color on the top of my ear and buffing that towards the outer corner of my lip so that my contour comes a lot farther down than across my face, so it looks a little bit more slimming and more Kylie Jenner-esque. Taking the same color and the same brush, just going to put that right above my temples on both sides, and then whatever's left over on that brush I will kind of swoop right across the top of my forehead. Doesn't look so bright. And to define that jaw, I'm going to take that same color and go right underneath my earlobe and bring that forward, and just as my forehead I'm going to take whatever's left over and just kind of dust it on the end of my chin. Ooh, that got bright. But anyway, I'm going to be taking Subconscious from the same palette and just putting it on the outer corner closer to my ear so there's a little bit more depth than just adding one color. And then whatever's left over I'm just going to put on the outer corners of my temples and my jawline. And using Laura's powder one more time, I'm taking Morphe's M458 brush, which is the little sister of the M459 brush. I find this gives a little bit more precision, but I'm just going to pull my face to the side again and find that line and just carve it out. This will make sure that the contour doesn't bleed down throughout the day, and I like my contour to be nice and sharp. And to contour my nose, I'm going to take Sombre or Sombre, whatever, from the Kat Von D palette on a Sonia Kashuk firm blending brush. I think that's what it's called, but I'm basically going to be doing the top of my nose, skip the middle, and do the end of my nose. This little trick kind of makes your nose a little bit longer, since I'm Asian, I don't have that long of a nose. Also taking that right in my cupid's bow, and then gonna brush it right underneath my lip for that full shadow effect. Now brushing away that Laura powder to reveal that smooth texture right over our highlighted areas. And this is some random fluffy brush, just make sure it's nice and soft. And leave that powder that's baking underneath the contour there for a little bit more. I wanted to add a little bit more yellow to the highlighted area, so I'm taking Lyric from the same palette on the E.L.F. angled contour brush. I have never found a brush as perfect as this one to go right over all of our highlighted areas. And now we're going to brush away that Laura powder right underneath our contour to reveal that nice streamline. So now I'm going to start with adding those finishing touches, and this is the Urban Decay blush in video and the Real Techniques blush brush that I absolutely love. And please forgive me for moving my face out of the screen. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. And for that glow, I'm taking the Morphe M601 brush and the Champagne Pop highlighter from Becca, and packing that on the tops of my cheeks in between my highlight and my blush. And then I'm going to take that right above the arches of my eyebrow, an exclamation point on my nose, and then on my Cupid's bow. Oh yeah, and on my inner corners too. And this is when my face starts to leave the frame. I didn't think that I would put this in the video, but I wanted to anyway. So I'm taking the Shiseido eyelash curler and curling it to the gods as much as I can. And then I'm going to be taking their Real mascara by Benefit and loading that onto my lashes. And I'm not going to put on false lashes today because I just don't have the time or the patience, so I'm just going to pack it on. I want to set my brows, so I'm using Urban Decay's Tinted Brow Tamer in Warm Brown and lightly brushing that through my brow hairs because I know they are pretty long. I don't want them to get too wiry throughout the day. I wanted to add a little bit more darkness to my lower lash line before I put on my mascara, so I did use a Naked 3 palette that day, and I'm first taking Dark Side and putting that all over, and then I'm going to blend out with Factory. And if you have the Diva ring light, you know that it comes with a mirror right underneath the camera, so that's what I'm looking at and making these crazy faces too right now. Oh god. My bottom lash mascara will be Touch in Soul's stretchex mascara, and I'm also going to be setting with the Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. This stuff is the bomb! And then I'm going to be taking Buxom's Full-On Lip Polish in their most popular color, Dolly, and I'll put that all over. So that wraps up my highlight and contour video. I hope I made that kind of easier for you guys. If you have any questions or any suggestions for future videos, I would love that. Please leave those down below. I'll also list everything I used in the description box too, so I won't forget about that. And until next time, see you later.